This is iFIBER 1 News. Here are today's top stories.
Ephrata officials say police are looking into possible gang connections in the September 6th shooting that left a man injured. Doolittle Park and the Larson housing community got a major facelift thanks to volunteers from Lowe's and Light of Larson.
The hooves of 24 mountain goats are now treading a new landscape within Washington state after being relocated in the first 3 days of a multi-year, multi-agency project led by the Department of Fish and Wildlife.
Far away from many bright lights, the small town of Wilson Creek is where sophomore Peyton Burkhart calls home.
From the iFIBER 1 newsroom, this is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
Ephrata officials say police are looking into possible gang connections in the September 6th shooting that left a man injured. According to City Administrator Wes Crago, few details on the shooting are being released as officers continue to interview witnesses and gather evidence. With such a large crime scene, Crago said it's likely the investigation will take several more weeks. Investigators are pursuing warrants through the court system as part of the investigation. The shooting occurred just before 6:30 p.m. outside the Shortstop gas station and a Mexican restaurant on Basin Street Southwest. A witness reported seeing at least two people exchange gunfire, with one man sustaining multiple gunshot wounds. Investigators say the injured person is not cooperating in the investigation. Police have not disclosed information on possible suspects, and no arrests have been made. Anyone with information regarding the shooting is asked to call Ephrata Police at 509-754-2491. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER 1 News.
This segment is brought to you by...
Change doesn't have to be complicated. With a low-profile microwave hood combination that's ready to install right out of the box. It fits in the same space as your under-cabinet hood, so you can get your microwave off the countertop and make space for the routines worth keeping. The low-profile microwave hood combination, from the #1 selling appliance brand in the USA.
Whirlpool Appliances, now available at more furniture in Ephrata.
Doolittle Park and the Larson housing community got a major facelift thanks to volunteers from Lowe's and Light of Larson. The decade-old park, constructed by volunteers along Patton Boulevard near Moses Lake, now has a new and safer look after 2 days of work.
The park is a vital part of our community of Larson. 10 years ago, it was set up by volunteers and throughout the community that came and had a vision that they wanted to have something for the children. And so it's been important for us to continue to bring that up, to make sure it's in great shape for not only the Larson community, but all of Moses Lake. I know that we have people from Warden, Ephrata stopping by, enjoying this park.
Along with a fresh coat of paint and repairs, new beams were installed along with new swings. Supplies were donated by Lowe's in Moses Lake, which also had employees volunteer their time for the project, along with Light of Larson and the Grant County Housing Authority, which owns the park and also purchased several truckloads of new bark.
Lowe's likes to give back to the community and take the time to show our support for all the support that the local community here in Moses Lake gives us at our store. And it's important to us to give back, and this is a great project here at Doolittle Park. And we're just excited that when we're done, the kids will have a safe playground. It'll look refreshed.
Art Brown said community partnerships continue to make a positive impact for Larson. Many residents, noticing the improvements being made, offered to pitch in during the 2-day project. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER 1 News.
This segment is brought to you by...
Your taste buds bored? Well, then bring them to Jay's Teriyaki. Not only does Jay's have a variety of teriyaki dishes, they also offer mouth-watering salads and sides. Call Jay's 509-764-5155. Jay's Teriyaki, located at 123 East Broadway in Moses Lake, because it's all in the sauce.
The hooves of 24 mountain goats are now treading a new landscape within Washington state after being relocated in the first 3 days of a multi-year, multi-agency project led by the Department of Fish and Wildlife. The animals are being plucked from their non-native environs on the Olympic National Park and relocated to the mountainous terrains of the Northern Cascades. The decision to move the mountain goats, which are actually not goats at all, but rather members of the antelope family, was made because of an increasing frequency of encounters with humans who are recreating in the Olympics. Mountain goats are attracted to salt as a form of sustenance and have very little to find in the Olympic region, which is naturally occurring. So they are instead attracted to the sweat and urine of humans as well as their food. An Olympic Park visitor was even gored to death by one of the creatures back in 2010, and they have also levied a significant amount of damage to the area's natural vegetation over many decades since their introduction there in the 1920s. The mountain goats should have a smaller chance of run-ins with humans in the larger and more sparsely utilized territory of the Northern Cascades and will help revitalize a depleting native population there as well. Fish and wildlife biologists are using helicopters to first tranquilize and net the animals before their transport. Each goat also receives a thorough veterinary examination prior to being released and is outfitted with a GPS tracking device for departmental study and management purposes. Project officials are hoping to relocate up to half of the approximated 725 mountain goats which currently live in the Olympic National Park over 2 to 3 more 2-week transfer events through the year 2020. Reporting for iFIBER 1 News, I'm Chris Hansen.
Far away from many bright lights, the small town of Wilson Creek is where sophomore Peyton Burkhart calls home. Burkhart makes a 25-minute drive every day to compete on Soap Lake's football team.
I started in 7th grade, and it was kind of a dare between me and some of the boys in our class that I wouldn't play. Then I ended up joining 7th grade, and it just kind of stuck. 8th grade, I got my very first touchdown, and it was 70 yards, I think. And then I just kind of stuck with it and just really fell in love with it.
Head coach Tony Blankenship gave high praise of Burkhart because of her willingness to do whatever she's asked. Burkhart isn't afraid of being in the heart of the action. She's lined up at receiver, tight end, cornerback, safety, linebacker, and lineman. She even took a few snaps at quarterback during a JV game on Monday. Her willingness to play positions where she takes hits sets her apart from many other girls who play football at safer positions.
They're like all these positions that you're really protected and you're not in with everyone else. Like I have bruises all over, I have scrapes and stuff. You don't see that on a lot of girls that play football. Like when I get a bruise, I'll show it to people like, oh, look at this bruise. I got it Monday night or I got it Friday night.
Burkhart broke her wrist last season, but returned to football this year and plans to play through her high school career because of her love for the game.
I just kind of try not to worry about it. Football's what I love, so it didn't bother me. I just pray and hope that it doesn't happen next year.
For Burkhart, respect from the boys was something she feels like she earned and she's proud of.
At first in 7th grade, it was like a little bit different. It's scary. It scared me. But then they got used to me and noticed that I keep up with everyone and I play, and now they respect me.
Soap Lake's next game will be this Friday when they host Oroville, and Burkhart will be there with all the boys, just like she is every week. I'm Adam Chakosky for iFIBER 1 Sports.
This is iFIBER 1 News. For more information on these stories and other news, visit us online at iFiber1.com or check us out on Facebook.